Welcome back to the second session of the Capstone project. So we stopped last time on using the Capstone presentation as a resource introduction. This presentation serves as more than just an introduction. It's a comprehensive source and resource you can reference throughout your entire Capstone journey. Understanding how to use these materials effectively maximizes their value and supports your success as different project stages. Let's discuss how to leverage different sections strategically. Now let's move to the second slide. Talking about the project expectations and timeline. Use the early sections to understand what capstone projects are, fundamentally why they matter for your education and career, and what's expectations of your specifically the framework descriptions help you identify your particular project's approach, whether it's mountainship, magnets, mandate, or mirror, so you understand what evaluators are looking for. The component breakdowns provides a roadmap for planning your timeline, helping you allocate time appropriately across proposal, research, development, presentation, and reflection phases. Return to these sections when creating your initial proposal to ensure you're addressing all requirements or when adjusting plans mid-project to make sure you're staying aligned with core expectations. Aligning work with outcomes, the selections, all learning objectives versus outcomes, and writing effective outcomes provide practical tools for ensuring your project demonstrates required competencies. Use sample outcomes as checklists throughout development. They help you assess whether your emerging work provides clear evidence of achieving the program goals before finalizing any component. Ask yourself which learning outcomes does this address and how does it demonstrate them? If you cannot answer clearly, you may need to adjust your work or make connections more explicit. This ongoing alignment ensures your finished project will be evaluated verbally because it demonstrably achieves what programs require. Now let's go to learning from example. Example projects across disciplines illustrate that successful capstones look like in different fields: engineering, environmental science, literature, and more. These aren't templates to copy directly, but an inspiration for understanding appropriate scope, quality standards, and creative possibilities within your discipline. Notice how examples integrate research from multiple research demonstrates critical thinking through analysis and communicate effectively to their intended audiences. When selecting your capstone topic and for similar characteristics focused enough to complete within available time and resources broad enough to demonstrate multiple competencies connected to authentic contexts or real-world problems and aligned with both your interests and your post-graduation goals. Examples how our examples show what's possible and help you celebrate your ambition appropriately. Now let's go for communication skills. The presentation tips section offers practical guidance for one of your capstone's most challenging components. Publicly, presently your work, Revisit these recommendations as you prepare your defense or public presentations using them to structure content logically, design visuals that enhance rather than distract, and practice delivery for clarity and confidence. The tips cover everything from anticipating questions to managing presentation anxiety. Do not wait until the week before your presentation to review the section. Start consulting it early as you think about how to communicate your work effectively and return to it multiple times as your presentation takes shape. Now let's go for troubleshooting challenges. The challenges and success strategies sections help you anticipate difficulties and develop solutions proactively rather than reactively. When you encounter obstacles, you well because uh, capstones are genuinely challenging. Return to these sections for perspective and practical approaches, seeing that struggles with scope definition, time management, or motivation or normal, not signs of your personal inadequacy, can be reassuring that strategies provide concrete actions you can take when facing specific challenges. Bookmark these sections so you can find them quickly when you need assurance or guidance during difficult project phases. Now let's go for finding support. The resources section maps the support systems available to you, faculty advisors, writing centers, research support, technical workshop, past projects, reposters, peer networks, and technological assistance. Do not wait until you're deliberately struggling to explore these resources. Familiarize yourself early with what's available, where to find it, and how to access it. Uh, so you know exactly where to return when specific needs arise. Proactive resources use it far more effective than crisis intervention. Map out your sole personal resources guide listing relevant service contract information and what each offers. This preparation ensures you can get help quickly when challenges emerge. Using this presentation ongoing, bookmark or download this presentation for easy access throughout your capstone experience. Different sections will become relevant at different project stages. Proposal sections early in the process, methodology guidance during research and development, presentation tips later as you prepare to present, and reflection guidance near the end. This isn't a one-time read but an ongoing reference tool. Consider creating a personal capstone guide by taking notes on this presentation, highlight sections particularly relevant to your specific project, add questions to discuss with your advice, note resources to explore, and track um, how you're addressing different learning outcomes. This active engagement transform the presentation from passive content into a personalized success tool tailored to your unique situation. Now let's go for assessment and evaluation introduction. Understanding how capstone are evaluated empowers you to meet expectations and demonstrate competencies effectively. Unlike exams, testing recall or traditional assignments following rubrics, capstone assessment emphasizes authentic demonstration of integrated skills and knowledge applied to complex problems. Let's examine the key dimensions of capstone evaluation. Now let's go to assessment components. Capstone evaluation typically includes four interactive components. First, outcome mapping. Your deliverables are explicitly mapped to specific learning outcomes, ensuring each component provides evidence of required competencies. Second, rubric scoring. Detailed rubrics define performance levels from novice to exemplary for each outcome dimension, providing clear criteria for evaluation. Third, feedback integration, peer and difficulty feedback throughout the process informs interactive improvement, and your responsiveness to feedback is itself evaluated. Fourth, holistic evaluation, final assessment considers both products equality, the excellence of what you produce, and the process demonstration, how you approach the work, solve the problems, and grow professionally. All four components work together to provide comprehensive, fair evaluation. Now let's go for criterion referenced assessment. Capstone evaluation typically uses criterion reference assessment rather than norm-reference grading. This crucial distinction means you're evaluated against defined standards, specific learning outcomes, rather than compared to your peers. Everyone can potentially succeed by demonstrating required competencies. This isn't a competition with artificially limited high grades where only a few students can excel. If you demonstrate the competencies effectively, you will be evaluated variably favorably, regardless of how many others also succeed. This approach reflects professional contexts where quality is determined by meeting the standards, not by outperforming colleagues. Understanding this can reduce anxiety. You're not competing against classmates, but working to demonstrate specific achievable competencies. Now let's go to the understanding of rubrics. Most capstone programs provide detailed rubrics that break down each learning outcomes into observable criteria with performance level descriptions. These rubrics typically include several key dimensions. Knowledge integration examines the, the the extent to which work synthesize learning across courses and disciplines, showing connections rather than isolated knowledge. Methodology quality assesses the appropriateness and rigor of research of design methods used. Did you choose suitable approaches and execute them properly? Analysis depth evaluate the sophistication of critical thinking and problem solving. Demonstrated, do you move beyond surface level observation to deeper insights? Communication effectiveness consider the clarity, organization, and professionalism of both written and oral work. Product quality examines the technical excellence and completeness of primary deliverables. And professional responsibility assesses ethical considerations and awareness of broader impact. Each dimension is typically scored on a scale from developing to category with specific descriptions of what each level looks like. Now let's go to using rubrics as planning tools. Request your program's rubric early and use it as a planning tool, not just an evaluation document. The rubric tells you exactly what evaluators will look for, helping you make strategic decisions about scope, depth, and emphasis throughout your project as you work periodically. Self-assesses against the rubric to identify areas needed additional attention. For example, if the rubric emphasizes across disciplines and you realize your work draws primarily from a single course, you know you need to broaden your integration. The rubric removes the ambiguity about expectations. making it an invaluable guide for producing work that will be evaluated variably. Now let's go to the role of process in evaluation. While your final deliverables certainly matter, evaluators also consider process quality. This includes your responsiveness to feedback. Do you incorporate suggestions to improve in iteratively initiative and independence? Do you take ownership rather than waiting to be told what to do? Problem solving approaches. How do you handle obstacles and setbacks? Professional communication with advisors. Are you prepared for meetings, respectful of time, and proactive time management and milestone completion? Do you meet deadlines and maintain steady progress? Research or design methodology rater. Do you follow appropriate practice for your discipline, ethical conduct? Throughout the project, do you cite source properly, treat participants respectfully, and consider implications and reflection depth and honestly? Do you engage meaningfully with your growth rather than superficially? Document your progress throughout project journals, meeting notes, draft versions, and reflective writing. The documentation provides evidence of your thinking, growth, and professional development, all valued in Capstone assessment. Benefits of competing and completing a Capstone introduction. While Capstone project demands significant effort, they deliver substantial benefits that extend well beyond graduation. Understanding these benefits can elevate your through challenging moments and help you maximize the experience value. Let's examine the key benefits Capstone provide. Now let's move to the professional readiness. First, completing a capstone demonstrates professional readiness to employers or graduate programs. It shows you can tackle complex extended projects independently, a key indicator or workplace readiness and the potential for success in advanced study. When applying for jobs or graduate programs, you can point to your capstone as concrete evidence that you handle ambiguity, manage long-term projects, and deliver quality results. This tangible proof is far more compelling than claiming you possess these abilities. Now let's go to enhancing critical thinking. Second, Capstone develop sophisticated materials, so you can say sophisticated analytical and integrative thinking skill through sustained engagement with complex problems. Unlike assignment that ask you to apply a single concept or a method, capstones requires synthesizing multiple frameworks, evaluating competing approaches, and navigating genuine uncertainty. This moves you beyond surface level understanding to deep nuanced expertise. These advanced thinking skills transfer across contexts. You'll apply them throughout your career whenever facing complex challenges. Now let's go for confidence building. Third, Capstone builds or build profound confidence through successfully managing a major project from initial conception to final completion. Successfully delivering a capstone proves to yourself that you can handle professional level challenges and produce quality results. This confidence changes how you present yourself in interviews, how you approach early careers challenges, and how you think about your own capabilities. Many students report that Capstone completion fundamentally shifted their self perception from student to professional capable of real contributions. Now let's go for the final one, portfolio development. Fourth, Capstone create substantial professional quality portfolio pieces that showcase your ability to potential employers or graduate programs rather than uh, just listening or listing skills on a resume. You can share actual work demonstrating your capabilities and achievements tangibly. In interviews, you can discuss your capstone in detail, the problem you addressed, your approach, challenges overcome, and results achieved. This specificity and depth is far more impressive than generic descriptions of coursework. Your capstone becomes centerpiece of your professional identity. Now let's move to long-term career impact. Capstone projects often becomes a career catalysts with impacts extending years beyond graduation. Many students leverage their capstone work to secure first professional positions by demonstrating relevant skills and experience directly applicable to job requirements. Capstones help you make informed career decisions by exploring specific specializations or methodologies, discovering what you enjoy and excel at. They help you build professional networks throughout project participations and partnerships with community organizations and industry sponsors or research teams. They provide portfolio material that opens doors to competitive graduate programs or selective employers. They develop confidence in your abilities that careers into job or that carries into job interviews and early career challenges, and they can establish your reputation within professional communities through presentations and conferences or publications of findings. The capstone's impact compounds over time as you leverage it repeatedly throughout your career development. personal growth and transformation. Beyond professional benefits, capstones facilitate personal transformation at a deeper level. Students frequently describe capstone experience as moments when everything suddenly clicked, when years of seemingly disconnected courses suddenly formed a coherent whole, when they recognized themselves as competent uh, professionals rather than perpetual students, and when they discovered intellectual passions that shape future paths. These transformative moments are intellectually and personally profound, changing how you see yourself and your place and your discipline. The capstone marks your translation from consumer of knowledge to creator knowledge. The capstone's emphasis on reflection amplifies personal benefits by developing metacognitive awareness, understanding not just what you know, but how you learn, what motives you, where your strengths lie, what challenges you can overcome. This self-knowledge proves invaluable throughout your career as you continue encountering new situations requiring learning and adaptations, understanding your learning style, recognizing when you need support, and knowing how to leverage your strengths, career-long advantages, developing through capstone reflection. Now let's go to the challenges students may face. Listen to this powerful testimony from James Chen, a mechanical engineering graduate. My capstone was the first time I felt like a real engineer rather than someone learning to be an engineer. That shift is identity changed everything about how I approached the job interviews and my first professional role. This identity transformation from student to professional is one of the capstone's most valuable outcomes, and it emerges from successfully completing something genuinely changing and challenging and professionally relevant. Now let's go to the challenges students may face. Introduction. While immensely rewarding capstone projects present unique challenges that differ from typical course books or coursework, anticipating these difficulties help you prepare strategies to overcome them and maintain momentum when obstacles arise. Understanding that challenges are normal, not indicators of your inadequacy as itself valuable. Let's examine common capstone challenges. Managing open-ended complex projects. The first major challenge is managing open-ended complex projects. Unlike assignments with clear instructions and defined endpoints, capstones require you to define the problem yourself, determine appropriate scope, and make countless decisions independently without step-by-step guidance. The ambiguity can feel overwhelming, especially early in the process when possibilities seem endless and the path forward unclear. You might experience paralysis in project selection, constantly changing topics because nothing feels quite right, or defining overly ambitious scopes that become unmanageable. The open-ended nature, while ultimately beneficial for learning, creates uncertainty that many students find uncomfortable initially. And now let's go to the balancing flexibility with structure. The second challenge is balancing flexibility with structure. Capstones demand both flexibility, adjusting plans as research reveals new directions or unexpected findings, and the structure maintaining progress toward defined outcomes on tight timelines. Finding this balance challenges students accustomed to either rigid assignments with fixed requirements or completely unstructured creative work without deadlines. You might get lost in endless exploration without producing deliverable, pursuing interesting tangents that do not ultimately serve your learning outcomes. Or conversely, you might gradually follow your initial plan, even when evidence clearly suggests a better direction. Learning when to adapt and when to preserve is genuinely difficult and develops only through experience. Time and resource management. The third challenge is time and resource management. Capstone projects extends over weeks or months, requiring sustained effort and careful resource management across a long timeline. Students often underestimate the time needed for research, data collection, analysis, writing, and revision, or fail to account for competing demands from other courses, work responsibilities, or personal communities or personal commitments. Common manifestations include procrastination, followed by panic as deadlines approach, inability to search needed resources like equipment or participant access in time, or neglecting other important responsibilities while focusing exclusively on the capstone to determine of other areas of life. The extended timeline requires this discipline and the planning that shorter assignment do not demand. Navigating um, interdisciplinary collaboration. The first challenge applies to capstones involving team projects or interdisciplinary work, coordinating across different disciplinary perspectives, communication styles, and work habits adds significant complexity. Disagreements about project direction, uneven work contributions where some members do more than others, and difficulties integrating diverse expertise into coherent final products can create substantial tension. Common manifestations include team conflicts over roles and responsibilities, uh, difficulty synthesizing different disciplinary approaches into work that makes sense, or one person dominating decisions and execution while others contribute minimally. Learning to collaborate effectively across differences is invaluable but genuinely challenging. Now let's go to emotional and psychological challenges. The fifth challenge is emotional and psychological beyond practical difficulties. Capstones can trigger imposter syndrome, profound doubts about whether you are truly qualified to complete such significant work, fears that you'll be exposed as less capable than believed. The high stakes and the visibility of capstones often presented publicly to faculty and peers can create significant anxiety. Extended timelines mean motivation naturally waxes and wanes. Some days you're excited and productive, others you can barely force yourself to work, and setbacks when they occur can feel deeply discouraging, making your question whether you can making you question whether you can complete the project successfully. These emotional challenges are completely normal but very real, affecting your ability to work effectively if not addressed. So thank you so much for watching me teaching you the second session of Capstone project. We will continue the last and the final session tomorrow. Until tomorrow, tata for now.